Now we're going to talk about one of the most prominent techniques that card sharks used to practice in the old days of draw poker at the card table. It's called stacking, more particularly riffle stacking. That's a method of actually stacking the cards while you're shuffling. Now, in those days, a typical cheat would, set himself up with a set of trips, and then you can see that, for instance, three kings would be a great hand to have. But if you think about it, it would be even better if you think about it, if you could actually arrange for one of the other players, one of the suckers, to get a good hand too, but not quite as good as your hand that you're going to stack. And let's go ahead and demonstrate how that can be done. Okay? The cheat, of course, will have those cards right on top of the pack. He'll gather them up during the previous round of play, and you won't even know they're there. Now, your typical cheat will take 2, 3, sometimes 4 shuffles to stack just one hand for one player, for themselves. But I'm going to stack both hands. Now, this is the interesting part, with just one shuffle, okay? Give a little mix, and you'll see just one riffle shuffle. And both hands are completely stacked. You can see how dangerous that would be in a game because it's over in a flash. You're talking a split second. And there's very little chance of detecting it. Now, I want you to see, I'm going to deal these cards fairly. I stacked them for a 5-handed game. I'm going to see the sucker to my left gets the queens. And, of course, I get the winning hand. And you can be sure that fellow with the queens is going to bet him up. I know I would, if I thought everything was on the level. Now, with that being said, you may say to yourself, well, why the heck would I stack the 3 kings for this player over here? We got to remember, I didn't say I'd give myself the 3 kings. I said I'd give myself the winning hand. The truth is, in that one shuffle, I actually stacked 3 hands. You got to admit, 3 aces will definitely do the trick. There's the winning hand in this little round. Now, after seeing that, people, they ask, they got to see that again. Can you really stack 3 hands in one shuffle? Well, I'm going to do it again, and I'll demonstrate it so you can be clear and see how this actually occurs. The cheat will gather up secretly. You won't know it. He's got the queens. On top of that, he'll place the kings or whatever cards he's using. And on top of those, all the aces go. Now, again, one shuffle. Let's lose everything first. We give it one riffle. And as I said, you can see how dangerous this truly is, because it only takes a second. And again, I'll deal fairly off the top so you can see this is the real deal. Queens to the sucker to my left, kings to the guy in the middle, third player, and I get the aces. Now, as you look at this, I know it's pretty impressive, and then I got to admit, it does take quite a bit of practice. But there's one glaring flaw here that you may have already noticed. And the fact is, and if you're a poker player, you're aware of this, poker is a 5-card game, okay? There's a pretty good statistical chance that this player here, because he's still got 2 more cards to get, all right, he's going to be dealt, and then he's got a chance to draw cards, all right, where he could have another chance to improve his hand. And there's a chance I don't improve my hand, they're going to beat me, say they pull a full house or something like that. Well, to avoid that, the mechanic's got to have another trick up his sleeve. And we'll demonstrate that for you right now. As you can see, as I said, another trick up the sleeve, I'll actually use my sleeve. And as I said, poker is a 5-handed game. I would make sure, a little rub of my sleeve, that I got the best 5 cards. Kind of overdid it here, but I think you'll agree a royal flush in diamonds is probably going to take the money. So a little demonstration for you in riffle stacking.